Hi, this is Lady Lex UK, and this is part of my How to Make a Platformer series. In this tutorial, we're going to be looking at moving platforms. These are the moving platforming elements that get you across chasms and rivers and high falls and things like that, or can act as a lift and can lift you higher up into the game from a base level up high into the clouds or whatever you want to do. So there are different methods of moving things in Dreams, and I'll go through a few of them with the pros and cons of using each. So here is method 1. Right, if you've come from Little Big Planet, then this might be the most obvious to you, but for the rest of you, this probably isn't obvious at all. And that is to get a moving platform backwards and forwards like this, you use a piston. So if we go into gadgets and connectors, let me just like this one, and choose piston, we can press X and then press X on our donut, turn it on, and there we go, we have a moving platform. It's ever so fast, the default. So we just need to highlight it, press L1 and square, and have a look. Right, so cycles per minute will change the speed. We need to change this really quite low. So let's put it down to, let's try 10, shall we? If you're not familiar with the sliders, you can go L1 and square and actually type the number in that you want. R2 done. There we go. So let's have a look at that. There we go. There's some bouncing either end. And we can move these little markers here, and that shows you how far the stretch goes. There we are. So that can sort out that little bounce, but then again it's not quite joining up. You've got to be very careful with these, but you can play about with the piston like this. But there we are, that's given us a platform. So if I just possess my character here, I can jump on there and I go gliding across and I can jump off. So really simple connector. You can fiddle about with the settings. Be very careful about fiddling about with the max and minimum length. This is these tags here. If you see, look, there we go. You can see I'm moving the minimum length there and the maximum length. That's those two little gizmos there that I just adjusted so that it wasn't bouncing quite much off of the sides. And you've got the motor strength. This is how you want that relatively high, so that it's moving in a smooth manner. You can reverse the direction, but with a ping-ponging effect, which is what this gives you, that's pretty much irrelevant. And you've got an option to do something once it gets to the end of its piston, if you need that to do something special at each end. But this is pretty much it for this method. That's it. You just change the speed, the strength of the piston. Be very careful, like I say, if we put the tightness right up like this, it's not going to move at all. So 100% tightness, this is not going to move at all. So make sure it's a bit less than that so it will move. So there we go. So there's method number 1. Let me just delete that. Boom, gone. Right, now method number 2. This is the method that is found in the tutorial for Media Molecule when you've got Connie I presume that tutorial is still in Dreams. It's been a while since I've had to do them, but yeah, there's a tutorial with Connie trying to cross the ledge, and this is the method that I think is part of the tutorial, and that is to grab a action recorder, go R2 on your platform, so you've got it picked up, and then take it across like that. So there was a little bit of hesitancy at the beginning there, and then like that, and then we're just going to go L1 and square and stick that on ping pong. Now, as you can see, this is a very jerky thing. It's quite a difficult to get this to lie straight and flat. I mean, that's particularly bad. Let's just delete the action recorder and try that again. Try to make it a bit smoother. So pick it up, take it across. There we go. That was much better. But it isn't particularly flat, and it isn't particularly smooth, and the timing of it isn't standard. So if you started doing it a bit fast at the beginning and slower as you moved on, then that's what you get. Right, there are methods that you can get that a bit straighter. So what you might attempt is, if you put the grid snap on, you might think, okay, if I put grid snap on, it's going to move in a straight line. That will be better. So let's do the action recorder again and move this in a straight line. So there we go. It's moving to the grid. Let go. And apart from the bit at the beginning when I picked it up, that's pretty smoothly across. However, let's go to play mode and let's jump on this platform. Whoops. My puppet does not move with the platform. So you can get on it. Let me just rewind that again. So you can get on it, but you have to keep moving in order to stay on it. Yeah, you have to run on it like this in order to stay on there. Now that might be an effect that you want. You want it to make it very difficult for your player, but it's unlikely. I think most people want people to be able to jump on a platform and move with the platform. So this is not a method that I recommend. However, you get the same effect. Let's X-ray so I can see everything. Right, let's get rid of my action recorder. You get the same effect if you turn grid off and put precise move on instead. And then let's do that again with precise move. And there we go. And I'm following the line. There we go. You get that pickup at the beginning, which is a little bit awkward. But there you go. It's much straighter using precise move. And again, you put it on ping pong so that it's the same speed going backwards and forwards, because what it's doing is it's playing through the animation and then reversing through the animation. Play, reverse, play, reverse. If you don't do that and you just have it on a loop, what happens is it gets to the end and then shoots straight back to the beginning again. So the return is much faster. Again, it depends on your game and what you want to set up to what that is doing. So there's that. Now, I personally am not keen on the use of an action recorder for platforms. I don't feel that you have enough fine control over it. But this is absolutely, definitely the quick method. So if you've got no patience, the action recorder will do the job for you, but it will make it look a little bit, like you have picked it up and animated it. It doesn't look smooth and regular, which is what you'd expect from a platforming game. So let's delete our action recorder. As you'll see, my donut here is movable, but it doesn't have to be. You can make it non-movable so that its normal state is just to stay put in the air. And that might have helped with the precise move for getting this backwards and forwards as well. Right, so the method that I prefer is method 3. This is where we're going to use keyframes. So I'm going to take my keyframe and I'm just going to grab my donut. I've still got it on precise move because it's really quite handy. Right, get it into its first position. Let go of R2. So you grab it with R2, then let it go when you've got it in the right position. Make sure that is where you want it, and then press record. And then I'm going to get another keyframe down. I'm going to move this over to its final resting position, which is there, and press record. Then I get my timeline. I'm going to make this so that it's 8 seconds, so I'm just going to put that a little bit bigger than 8 seconds. And I put the keyframe at position 1 and my second one at position 4. And if I hover in the middle, you've got to make them so that they line up, and so when you get in between them you get this green line. L1 and square, and then you choose a blend type, which is linear. And what this does is it fills in the animation between those 2 points, therefore moving your platform. So then we copy our first keyframe, so that's L1, R2. That's copied it, and I'm going to put that at 8 seconds, like that, and do the same again. Put the blend type in. So that's created our ping pong, so that's going to go left to right and then back to left again. And now what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to close this down a bit, and I'm going to move trim end to the 8-second mark, and as you'll notice, the keyframe is inside this hashed bit. This is the trim end bit. Now what that will do is give you a nice smooth loop round, because if you had this keyframe here, what it will do is it will go from left to right, back to left. There'll be a little pause, and then it will start moving again. So with this over here, you get a nice smooth loop. So we're going to go L1 square, put that on loop, and away we go. So you have a lot more control about how long these platforms take to move. So it's 4 seconds there, 4 seconds back, so you've got control over that. And I can set it up so that this keyframe is bigger. I set it for 1 second, so now it goes all the way up to here, pauses, and then comes back again. So you can add a pause really easily in this animation, and you make these bigger as well so that it pauses at either end. So let's just move this one to 1 second as well, like that. That pauses and pauses, so there you go, you'll pause at either end. There we are. Very, very simple, and you can see it's going round and round and round in this loop. So this is my preferred method for moving a platform, and you can make it not just an end-to-end situation. You can have it so that it's a lot more complicated than that. But don't forget, you can also move things not just in the horizontal but vertical. So let's do this one really quickly. So we'll just do the same thing again. So keyframe, let's put it there. Keyframe, let's put it there. Timeline, first keyframe, second keyframe, like so. And don't forget, we want this, if you didn't loop it in the animation, let's just do this. One play, it will just that, and then it will drop immediately down to the beginning. if I put it on loop, we're on loop, yeah, okay, and up it goes, and then boom, like that. So if you want it to do the same here, you do the 3 points. So do the top, and then you'd copy this to the bottom, and then it will go up and down like we had with the one across, like so. Trim our end, and there we go. It's going up and down. Very, very simple. So I think timelines are just as fast as doing an action recorder, and you've got more control. So although I said that the other way was speedier, there's not that much in it, to be honest. Now you can also create more than 1 point. So let's take a donut. Let's turn precise move off. Okay. So I'm going to have this donut move between these 3 quiches. So I'll start off with my first keyframe, which is this position. And then a second keyframe, which is this position. Third keyframe. Now, if we do it in the timeline, that might be easier actually for this. So our first keyframe, first position, second keyframe, second position. Let's just elongate this a bit, because this is going to be a complicated one. Right, go to 4. Then I'm going to copy 4. So L1 and R2. And I'm going to put that at 6. And I'm going to go L1 and X. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick that up and just turn it a bit. There we go. So that's the turn. Press record. Then I'm going to copy that one. L1 and X. And I'm going to pick that up and move it over here. And I'm going to copy this again. I'm going to just do another turn. You notice it's way too high for that. I'm going to do that. So you've got height, and I'm doing this really quickly. So you would have a planned out route. And then we'll turn it like that. And then I think we should be okay to put in one more. Put it there. And then we'll put the original keyframe. It'll be interesting to see what this does at the end. It's always better if you put it, snap it to the line. Right, so let's put these in. Linear, linear, linear. So this is the way of animating anything that's moving around. Just put lots and lots of keyframes in. We'll put it on a loop. Right, let's see what it does. So off it goes. Yeah, it's turning around there. There we go. Went up a little bit. It's going into the quiche. And then that's sweeping around there, look, like that. There we are. So I've got this thing moving in really complicated ways. It's rotating, it's going higher, it's going lower, and you can manipulate this in any way you want. It's just a matter of putting in the correct keyframes. Let's get our puppet on this thing, so you can see that it will ride around on the platform with no problem. There we go, I'm on it. And now it's riding around between the quiches, flying about. So this is like a flying carpet now. So if you're doing an Aladdin game, there we are. We've got a flying donut. There we go. That works really well. It's on a loop. This platform will just go round and round and round, or constantly. There we go. So keyframes, my favourite method of actually making anything move. Right, the other way of moving a platform might be to create a rotating platform. You might do that between two gaps. Let's do it here like this. So we've got one here. So all I need to do is put a rotator on it. Rotator, snap it. So L1 and then X sticks the rotator onto my object. Then you want to go into grid snap and L1 and square, and make sure that it's pointing in the correct direction to rotate it, which is point it up in the air like that. There we go. You might want to slow it down a bit. So you just use the slider here till you get it to the speed that you like. There we go. And we can always copy this. So we're going to copy, how many do we need? Can we get away with 2? I think there we go. There's donuts flying about all over the place. There we go. I've got 3, like so. So let's go back to our player. Right, we need to cross here. Okay, and we jump on there, and jump on that one, and jump on that one, and then we're on here, and then we just got to wait for our bus, our flying carpet, our flying donut. Jump on it. Oh no! Get on it! Get on it! I'm on it! I'm on it! I'm on it! There we are. And then we're back to the beginning again. Hooray! There we go. So I've already made a platformer, so to speak, with all the different things. Now it's really that simple. So don't feel that you have to use Media Molecule assets just to make a simple platformer. These methods are quick and easy, and you can make your own with your own props or things from the Dreamweaverse. Like you see, I mean, I've used these quiches and donuts. I mean, it doesn't have to look like your standard platform. It can be anything. So I hope that was useful for those of you who are unfamiliar with how to move objects in Dreams. I know for a lot of you that was probably a little bit easy, and you want something a little bit harder next time. I'm working on platforming elements, so if you've got any suggestions of tutorials you'd like that's to do with platforming, please leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in your dreams.